This is Tony from her Homestead Skills, and I'm working at rehydrating myself this morning or this afternoon. I had cut my soap this morning early on and delivered it to my son, and because I really, the essential oil smell ongoing does not agree with me. I don't like smelling it all the time, and it's fairly strong when you're making that quantity of soap. So I don't mind making it, and I don't mind dealing with it for a set length of time, but after a while I don't want to smell it anymore. Okay, some of you were interested in soap recipes, and I do have another video where I've shown how I make soap and provided a recipe or two. So for anyone that is actually interested, I will place a link to a soap recipe. Actually, to make a good quality soap, you need more than one type of oil, just so that you know that. I know that there are people that want to make one with just coconut oil, or they want to make it with just olive oil. And believe it or not, neither one of those really work. I mean, olive oil, you can make what they call a Castile soap, which is pure olive oil, but it takes like 6 months to cure. So if you don't let it cure for 6 months, you don't have a good bar soap. And that is the one thing with a Castile, a pure bar soap. Anything else, you really have to mix and match your oils. And each oil does provide a different quality and a different soap attribute. So there are calculations that can be made to determine how much of what you want to add and to come up with a good quality and why you would want to add. Okay, so for those interested, I will, as I say, provide a link to that. Anyway, soap was done. It was cut this morning. I've got my own method of cutting it, and it works for me. I get nice clean cuts, and very inexpensively. I would have loved that beautiful soap cutter that's a few $100s at one time, and I was almost going to get it, but I don't make soaps anymore, so it's not worth it. Not worth having a tool that you're not going to use. Okay, so after that I went to my garden, and oh my goodness, the weeds had just gotten all over the place. I don't think I'm the only one who's dealing with a lot of weeds in the garden after all the rains. So yeah, we did have a lot of rain, and which is good. It just means everything's thriving. The 3 little watermelon plants that I transplanted a few days ago are still there, which is good. Didn't know whether they'd continue to survive or whether they would, and the one large one is getting larger, which is wonderful. I should have watermelons, hopefully a ripe one or two that I can eat. We'll see. I don't know how long those ones take to grow, because I just took seed from a watermelon that I enjoyed, that I purchased from the farmer's market. So we'll see what happens with those. And tomatoes are coming along, cucumbers are coming along beautifully. My basil is gorgeous. As I said, when you plant basil single plant, don't overcrowd them. They do grow, and they grow to a good size. So I learned to do that all the time. And as I'm cleaning my weeds, I was very pleased to find a few things in there that I was careful not to pull out. One of them is my Italian oregano, which is a very nice, strong scent. The Greek oregano that I have planted, that's like bushed out and huge, just doesn't seem to have a very strong scent. But the Italian oregano that I have, that I got from my mother, is, I don't know if it's actually an oregano or if it's a thyme, but it is an annual. But seeds are so tiny that they do seed themselves. And every time I think that I've lost them and they're not going to seed, I did find a few plants. So where there's those few, I made sure I left them. And hopefully I'll get a whole lot more. And maybe I'll plant a few more seeds right around them. So I found that, and I found some parsley, which is good. I normally plant parsley, but didn't see any come up. I did lose any rutabaga that I had planted. They just didn't germinate. I also didn't do well with spinach this year. It's too hot now. Maybe if I wait till the end of July, beginning of August, I might be able to plant some spinach and get a fall crop. But this time of year, it's way too hot. Anyway, I overdid it today, so I look like I've recovered, but I really overdid it today. I was there for a few hours in the heat, and there is a bit of a heat warning, and I usually ignore those things because the heat warming here is nothing compared to what a lot of people deal with when it comes to a heat warning. But I think if you're going to be outside, you do need a hat, which I have to buy one that actually works in the garden, not my nice leather ones that I bought. They're not garden quality hats. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a garden hat and dress loosely. Track pants that were a little bit on the warm side as well was not a good idea. Anyway, I did recover. Just decided that's it. I've overdone it again. Stop. Splashed water all over my face and head. I was dripping anyway. And when I felt well enough, I drank a lot of water while I was there, but when I felt well enough, I got in my car and came home. And had a bite to eat, had a shower, got cleaned up, and I'm feeling great now. Everything's fine. But yeah, I have a tendency to push myself, and I always have had that tendency. The thing is, when you're working in a garden, you don't even notice how tired you're getting. You just notice how much work you have to do. And I did accomplish a fair bit, but there is so much more to do. So, take it easy, Tony, over the summer, one little bit at a time, and we do what we can. So anyway, wanted to wish everyone a very, very happy 4th of July holiday. I hope you're able to spend it with lots of family and friends, and you have good times, good food, good conversation, and nobody gets into fisticuffs over silly things that really don't matter in the long run. As long as everyone understands that each is allowed their own opinions and their own thoughts and their own beliefs, more power to them all. So anyway, very happy 4th of July, folks. You still have a beautiful country in many ways, no matter who tells you differently. So enjoy it. It's still one of the best countries in the world, if not the best. Okay, this is Tony from her Homestead Skills. Short and sweet today, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.